Hi, my name is Abhi the Nomad. I'm here with Saffron Creative House and Austin Animal Center, as you can tell. And I'm saying goodbye to music for a while. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Upon further research into my own lore, I think the spark that triggered my music career was really an iPod Shuffle. And I won it in a middle school talent quest. I won, I think, second place or third place, and I got a pink iPod Shuffle. Once I got the iPod and the thrill of performing on stage and, all the girls that wouldn't talk to me and all the cool kids that wouldn't talk to me thought I was cool. That was my awakening to the power of tricking people into thinking that I'm cool by rapping well. I think I was the only one in college who had lived in multiple countries before I even ended up in the United States. People were wondering how I sounded like this. Well, a lot of third culture kids end up going to international schools when their parents are expats or whatever. And so, yeah, I was the only nomad at the time. That's when I came up with it, was college. For some reason, before, I guess, like social media, everyone thought California, like everyone outside of the United States thought California was just Hollywood. So imagine my surprise when I show up to Thousand Oaks, which is like a Republican hotspot, and there's fucking nothing but like Del Taco and, I don't know, racists. So it was a shock for sure. I think it's the fucking me against the world shit. It was for a long time. I mean, hip hop is a resistance art. Anytime you bring up like the best rappers ever, it's always the socially conscious ones. And so that's the core of hip hop to me. And even when it's talking about, the glitz and the glamour and like diamonds and stuff, it's still in its core a resistance art. And I think that's what kept me around all this time. This is the most amount of cats that have been here currently in this frame. Ooh. Picture time. Hey, play nice. Yeah, these were taken by my friend Tom, who still lives in the UK. Moved to this little town called Lille. Basically, it was kind of like, the way I was thinking of my visa journey was like, okay, I'm just gonna make a little detour and then come back. Because you need to leave the United States when your visa runs out, and then you can reapply for another visa. So I went to France for a year. I didn't want to be there, to be honest. No offense to French people. It was a great experience for the food, but I was broke and depressed. I didn't know anyone. France was just, depressing, rock bottom. Sad way to live, right guys? Be way better with 4 cats. But that is when I made, apparently, a really good album. At the time, I was super into Chance the Rapper and like blog era hip hop. And so I was trying to emulate my favorite artists and trying to put my own little spin on it. And I think naturally, just because of how depressed I was, there was nothing else I could write about than about how depressed I was. And I was pulling from college, I was pulling from middle school, moments when I felt just as isolated and deserted as I did alone in France. So I just kind of took all that sorrow and just put it into some shit. Right around the same time, a label from the United States hit me up. We made a plan for me to come back on another student visa. But yeah, I applied to go to ACC, Austin Community College. And the Tommy Boy deal was happening on the side. And so they were like, okay, we're gonna drop the album. We'll drop a couple singles first. We're gonna push it to college radio, do all this stuff. So it was really just kind of like, I just had to be in the US in case something popped off. And so when I came here, within a year being in Austin, the Marbled album dropped. I got picked up to play at South by Southwest. NPR covered me. KUTX, obviously had me in a couple times. Sex and Drugs blew up. For the first time in my life, got 200,000 monthly listeners. And I played my first show where I saw real fans. Before, when I was in France, I didn't have any of that. And even when I first moved to Austin, I didn't have any of that. But within 1 year, everything changed. And then we applied for what is known as a talent visa in the US, and I got it, which we never thought we would, but that's when things started. That's when my career started, You know what's crazy about the talent visa? They told me that if you are still relevant in your field a year from or 3 years from now, you can extend it. So literally I had to like spit bars for the US government. If you think about it in an indirect way, that's what I was doing. I was rapping for fucking USCIS. This is like, what the fuck is wrong with this country? Like, it's crazy. They should have just let me, like, one time. It should just be a one-time thing. They're like, if you haven't fallen off, is what the government said. No way. Harry Sands, my RA in college. After we graduated, Harry became my backup singer. Harrison was my resident assistant in college and caught me with 12 joints once. It was my friend's joints, actually, and I think there was 15. But I was with him and obviously high, so that wasn't great. The American Alien Tour, the first headlining tour ever, called the American Alien Tour because that's what the fucking US government called me at the time. An American alien, which people didn't understand the marketing of that tour still, because I don't think people know how Homeland Security works. But I was an American alien at the time. And so we just kind of like, we made the aesthetics and everything kind of like I was coming in from a UFO, like I was a strange creature from foreign lands. It was a fucking shit show. I mean, people loved the shows, and they still tell me they loved the shows. But we did not know what the fuck we were doing. We didn't have any band or DJ. It was just me and Harry with a laptop and an interface.
You in the interface?
Yeah, that's me with my interface. What the fuck am I doing here? I am just playing a keyboard. I think I felt that my whole life. I don't think I felt like I belonged to any place my entire life. And I think touring and actually living here for so long actually removed a little bit of that for me and made it a little easier for me to at least be like, you know, cheer for the United States in the Olympics or whatever. COVID was a great time for music collaborations because everyone was locked in, so people wanted to work with whoever, you know, anyone that had internet and a home studio. And Kato, one of my now good friends, is a fantastic producer. He just wanted to do an artist project. And so he sent over, originally because he thought I'm like a soft pop artist because of my previous music, he sent over a bunch of like melodic beats. And I was like, I don't like this. And then in the same pack, there was like one like hard ass trap beat. And I was like, send me like 12 of these. So then I just rapped my ass off. And I rapped my ass off about being brown in like a proud way, which was the first time I'd ever done that, was then. And dude, it fucking worked. But yeah, 2020 was the catalyst of, you know, me kind of like being like, no, I'm a rapper. But yeah, the same year I got fucking engaged and married. That talent visa we were talking about earlier, converted that shit into a green card. Shout out to my wife. Oh yeah, this is the one that made the cover of alternative hip hop on Spotify. It was the first time I went viral, was the Kato EP. We had the song on there called Boppin'. That song went mega viral on TikTok. Pre-TikTok era, the sort of attention span that people had to music was really kind of nice. So even when people discovered me for the first time and I didn't even know I had fans, people would write me like long messages or like email. People would email me. They'd be like, hey, like found your music. Just want to say, I really like it, which is crazy to do now. Like it's like almost, people see that as like psychotic behavior, but there was a real connection, I feel like, that has been lost in this sort of like instant messaging age. Like this last album I'm working on, it's been 2 years and that's too long for how little people are going to pay attention to it. I feel like back then, even if I had 5 or 10 fans, I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, I feel like these people are like my family now, you know? 2022, it was already dying. In 2022, there were many signs of a already dead industry. TikTok promotional platform being the first. People blowing up because of TikTok is a good thing. It's a great thing. But it's become too democratized by this point. In 2022, it was already like slipping off the rails. Labels don't know what they're doing. There's no tastemakers. I could tell you artists I discovered in 2018, 2016, 2015, 2014, 2013. I can go year by year and tell you 5 artists I discovered. Because there were blogs and there were websites, places where people's job it was to find tasteful music and report to the masses. It was all gone by COVID. It was completely eradicated. No blogs. Just a bunch of dudes in their bedroom going like, have you heard this? I wrote my retirement letter in 2023, but I knew I was gonna hang it up in 2022. And now look, Adele, I Love Mackinnon, a bunch of people just retired. I kind of started this shit. Adele jacked my whole flow. I had been, posting normally, and like, for some reason there was just a bubble that I wasn't breaking. And once I go stagnant, I just get sick of whatever it is. It could even be like, I could be addicted to meth, and if I found it boring, I would quit. But yeah, I started finding it boring. Because nothing was moving the needle, And there's all these other people making exciting music right now that are 18, 19, and you want to hear those fresh ideas. And I started feeling like an uncle a little bit. I gotta stop rhyming words about ass at 30 years old. I moved to Los Angeles next year. I've always been interested in film and video stuff pretty much. And I have a lot of film friends in LA, and all my friends live in LA. All of my wife's friends live in LA, and we haven't been there in a minute. And so we wanted to make a move, and I was working on this next album. That was the last one. So I was like, I should just give everybody a chance to, in case people are like, Abhi's playing in Denver, but I'm a little lazy, I don't feel like going. I'd be like, this is the last time. So I kind of want to give people another chance to just see me live. Because a lot of musicians, cough Logic, cough Jay-Z, will announce they're retiring and then not retire. But I will fucking retire. I will not come back.
I'm so scared right now. What?
It's honestly, it's for the fans. I think this is the first time we'll play some of these songs live, and I feel like people have been requesting these forever. It's kind of like, in like those heist movies where they do one last job and I'm out. Aww. Are you serious? This is so cute. Can I join? Are they okay with this? This is a great transition into film. This is a framing exercise. It's a film that got me into film. I think Snatch is. Snatch is the first movie I watched and I went, man, I wish I made that, which that is an experience I had with music before, with songs, where I listen to a song and be like, damn, I wish I made that song. And honestly, my love for film comes from having to edit my own music videos, because video editors used to be, or still are, like some of the most expensive hires in like the media industry. But yeah, and my love for it came from having to force myself to learn After Effects, Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro. So yeah, and then I got into the technical side of it, just like I did with music. It was like learning a software pretty much. It's so nice to not know much about this medium. Like I know enough, but I still don't know like what I'm really doing. And I filmed my first music video and edited it for someone else like 2 months ago. And it was such a rush. And I love that feeling of new grounds for anybody that tries anything new. It's been a good run. Yeah, it's been really fun, honestly. Best part of my life was being an active full-time musician. But it's all good things, I think, should come to a definitive end. And this is a great definitive end. For me, it feels right. I already feel mentally like there's a fog that's been lifted from my brain. And whether that means you won't ever hear my voice on a song again after this next album drops, I don't know. But it might, But I will be making music. I'll never stop making music because people are gonna, hire me to make stuff and produce stuff for them. They already are. and I'm having more fun with it this way. My name is Abhi the Nomad, and I am signing off for now, like that.